Hi, you guys. Today I wanted to talk about what was going on with my journey so far. So far, I have done a lot of legislative things, a lot of background work, um, and which I'm kind of happy about. I know God is telling me to go more forefront. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm very good at being upfront, but I'm always extremely nervous. Always, always, always. Doesn't mean that I don't push through it. Doesn't mean that I don't make way for it and things, don't come out right. That's quite the contrary. Usually it goes really, really swell, and it usually goes above and beyond what is really asked for. And I think that's because I'm so nervous. I'm always trying to critique, and I'm always trying to perfect things. There are so many videos, I can even say that with myself and with the things that have been going on here. There have been so many videos that I've made that you guys have not seen because I get so nervous. And sometimes, we get in that level, in that headspace, and we look at other people's videos and you're like, well, dang, they did this dynamic thing and I can do that. But it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't think I have that time for that. And oh, well, I shouldn't do this because, even though I do have relevant information, it's not looking like other people, and they're not going to pay attention to it. And you can't even do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And I know time waits for no man, and God's been really telling me that time waits for no man. I've been very patient with you, but things need to go like boom, 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 boom. I've groomed you. You have enough. It's time. It's time. No, like you're never gonna have enough, which is true. You can never have enough of God. But when God puts you for a certain time, He creates us, and He has us to go to do things for a certain time. That's exactly what what He's expecting of us. And when you don't do that, you go in disobedience, and that's when anxiousness come in and all that other stuff, and doubt and fear. And so I have to muster up the courage to get back on here and try again and work it out. Um, yeah. So, um, yeah, I'm still here. Um, the things that I've been doing, it has been a lot of background, legislative, going to DC, trying to get, laws passed dealing with disabilities and dealing with the homeless. A lot of people, when you see things that go on, we're going in a time and age where it's not just disabilities, and they're seeing that some of the things in our environment, they're being very open, and things are coming to light, and they're showing a lot of things, that some of the things in our environment are creating these disabilities. How mind control works, and some of these mental cases, and how these things make up and shape up our world, the world that we live in. So, excuse me. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Not only that, I've been in a process of creating a feature, partnering with a group in California that has been working with, okay, excuse me, with people um, in the homeless sector, and they have a lot of resources um, that I know that can benefit and help the region that I'm in right now. So I'm doing a lot of studying on that, not only networking with them, but doing a lot of study. You know, because when you are producing something that is supposed to help for the greater good, you have to look at the nooks and crannies. You can't be lukewarm in how you pursue it. Also, you cannot just brush over things. I like to brush over a lot of things. I like to get the big things done and let the little things, the nooks and crannies, and the things that are detailed to be to handle with other people. And sometimes dealing with this issue and dealing with the small number of people that are intricate in that part, I had to be very careful and to look at some of the things that I would rather not look at. Now, I do have some people that are very skilled at what they do, and they are very detailed, and you have to have that on your team. If you guys are like that, if you have someone that's like that, that knows anything about the law dealing with the homeless and the sanctions about that, dealing with fire hose and getting certifications with water supply, um, and I know people want water supply. Well, if you have any information on that, definitely inbox me. Let me know. I would greatly appreciate it because it will help. Um, we also have a couple of engineers and architects, a couple of engineers that are building some things. So yeah, so that's basically kind of what I was doing. Also, I had another thing with the job, because I have multiple jobs, but two main jobs dealing with serving the homeless, doing things like that. I am in the process of transferring um, the community service group that I had into a non for profit. And the reason why I did that, I said at first I wasn't going to do it because there's plenty of non-for-profits out in the area that I'm in that's dealing with that. However, I saw the need that when this whole COVID came, the need, the involvement, the community involvement decreased by almost 90%. And the reason why is because I live in an area that is diligently, like, it's an older generation, point blank period. We have a lot of young people, but to sustain and to keep the young people here is very, very difficult. If you want to make a good living here, you can do that. You can make a good living here without even making a lot of money. And that's because there are a lot of organizations, a lot of things that they come in their community. They are a knit based community. They've created this arena, this world inside of a world that comes out, and they help at almost every end you can think about. If you didn't need food, they have food banks and food pantries that connect with each other. Not only that, if you had animals, pets, birds, dogs, fish, and you were going through that, they have a community for that, and they network, and they make it happen. They make it happen. If you had something, I had an issue when I first got here, and I needed to talk to my grandparents, which live in Haiti. And I did not have the funds. I could not communicate. They have an office in a region that goes and helps with foreign exchange and things like that. So they had the arena, but like I said, it was like 90%. It diminished when COVID happened. And those people, because for one, those people are older. They are at risk. And when I say older, I want to say some of these people are in their 60s. Sorry about that. Some of these people are in their 60s and older. So the community involvement diminished, They do have a lot of people. Of course, there's a lot of kids in this area because they, grandkids and things, and a lot of work. There's a lot of work here. A lot of people who start their businesses here. A lot of corporations. A lot of factories here. Pepsi, Ellis Bakery, Aunt Millie's, Lay's potato chips, things like that. Like those companies, there are plethora more. Amazon. We have that place. We have those arenas for that. We have that. So you get the funding. We have a lot of IT places. That's another thing. We have the straws. We even have the organic stuff. A lot of the organic stuff, the organic straws, their habitat, their home is now here, which was overseas, So the money is definitely here. But we didn't have the manpower. So, and I noticed that I, along with few others, it was like about 100 or so organizations that are still functioning and that are reaching out to the people in that way. And not only that, I noticed that I'm middle age, I'm not 20 something. I'm in my early 30s, and I was considered the youngest person, in that arena still functioning. So it just baffled me. So, with that, I said, okay. And then some of the things that they were offering, they could drop in my lap They wanted to drop it in my lap because they saw the evidence of it, of me working, of the people getting there, because I connect the manpower, I know it is. You get the wisdom from the older people, we get the manpower. And there's a lot of people who are younger who have wisdom as well. There's a lot of people that are older who have manpower. I just try to tap into finding out whatever it is that someone can work with and move it that way. But there were a lot of programs and things that would have helped the community a lot more, helped me serve the community a lot more, that I could not get access to because I did not have that certificate of the 501c3. So that is why I applied. Other than that, I probably would have just done it because all of my volunteers do this out the kindness of their hearts, as well as myself. I put some of my own money in there willingly, as well as a lot of the people who contribute to me. And I wanted to keep it that way. I didn't want it to be... I wanted to still have it from the heart, something that is not pressured, but it's willingly accepted. Something that you don't have to do. I want people to understand you don't have to do, but we're grateful that you are doing it, and to make sure that it's going to the right people at the right time, at the right possible moment, so that they can be better. And not only that, make them be productive and successful in their outcome in life, that they can help others, whether it's helping us help others that way, or whether they're just doing it on their own and becoming better equipped to help people in their everyday walk of life. So yeah, that is what I have been doing. So yeah, and I also started if you see my hair, I really like it. I really like it so far. I started another small business, and hopefully I'm going to see how it goes. It seems like so far it's only been 2 days, but I've seen substantial growth, like unimaginable, and I didn't really understand how much power that industry had, and how close the connection is to the industry that I'm already dealing with. So those are the things that I've been doing. Also, I have been dealing with my mom. You know that this channel is basically dealing with the obstacles that I deal with, not only with myself, but basically my mother. My mother is still in the hospital. She is in a mental institution now. They're just trying to get her back sane. She is feeling a lot better, but she does have some kind of a lot of resentment and a lot of things like that, and I'll talk about that later, about some of the issues, because I feel like, a thing that could benefit when you're dealing with mental illness, and I know they have that in NAMI and the Alliance, but they don't show, it's not intimate, you just have a National Alliance of Mental Illness, and you have people who are associated with people with mental illness. But I wanted to have a group, an online group, with dealing with people who are, daughters, sons, husbands, who are mostly who are children, dealing with mental illness, because it's a difference. It's a difference with dealing with a spouse with mental illness, and it's a difference from having a parent or a guardian with mental illness. Because one of the things that I learned very, very early on is that sometimes in certain situations you have to be the adult. You are the adult, and you some of the things you will be lacking, some of the things that you've learned, you can help, or some of the things that you overcame, you can help other people dealing with that. My issue, when I had that issue, it made me, I didn't even understand that I was drowning in it, and I will always go to this mother effect, like the mother effect, meaning like I will go and be around a lot of women who were kind of motherly, or what I thought was a motherly figure, who would help me guidance and the things like that. These are some of the things that you go through. So I really do want to set up a free open space for people where they can go and they can be open and not only put out what they, some of the experience, because like I said, some of the experiences are going to be different. They might seem similar, but they are different. Even how you comprehend it, going into those meetings and you're seeing it. Even with me dealing with social work, you go into these arenas and you're seeing this stuff for yourself, and how you're processing it is different from how someone else is processing it. Because think about it, if you are coming as a spouse, you don't think of them, you've already been an adult or been a grown person before, usually, unless you had a parent that had that mental illness, had a mental illness, and you just transitioned and kept the pattern on, and you just dealt with it because you said, oh, I knew how to deal with this, blah blah this, that, but that's usually not the case. Sometimes it does happen that way. But when you are a child, it's like it's a different comprehension, because you learn from your parents. You learn from the people who are above you, meaning the people who are over you, who are governing you, who are training you in the way of life. So y'all had to smell this. I really like it. Yeah, I just think that would be a really awesome time and an awesome space to display that. It also gives a lot of opportunity. I wouldn't just limit it just to people who had parents, dealing with mental illness, but because a lot of people, I will say this, there are a lot of people in our area, in our world today, who suffer from mental illness, and they don't get labeled as such. They don't get labeled as such. And it's not always what you think it is. It's not always, a lot of people say, if you lived in poverty, if you did this and blah, 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 and, it's not always true. It's in all walks of life. So, I think that would be a great thing to see. So these are the things, like I said, these are the things that I have been dealing with. If you look in the background, I know my house is so junky. You see all that stuff, y'all. Back there is where I'm having my lipstick and all that other stuff. So I have to go and get that area clean, but it's just mostly packing and things like that. So I'm getting those things up together. So if you see that big tower dealing with that whole, this thing right here, yeah, it's just a lip gloss lipstick holder bowl. So when I do my presentations, when I'm going out live, and when I'm touring, I have a better stand. So just investing and getting myself together. You guys, I really want to know what is going on in y'all lives. Like, honestly, I want to know what made you guys come on this channel and really subscribe. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart to have time to listen to me. There are a lot, like I said, there are a lot of channels that are talking about a lot of things, but for you to take the time to look at what I'm saying, I really appreciate it. So, I want to know, what are you guys thinking? What are you guys going through? Sometimes it's not always listening to other people's problems. It's sometimes listening to the people who listen to you. So what are you looking at? What is going on with you? So, yeah, I'm going to get off of here. Leave it in the comments below. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and thank you so much.